Attention, America, brace yourselves. Severe weather is sweeping across the nation today, bringing the long awaited and much feared winter storm that will test our resilience. As we face this powerful blast of cold snow and ice, it's important to stay informed and prepared. From the icy roads to freezing temperatures, this storm is a reminder of the incredible forces nature can unleash. Whether you're bundled up at home or out on the roads, stay safe and vigilant. Let's unite as a country, keep each other safe, and face this winter challenge head on. God bless the people of America as we weather this fierce storm together. The cold may be relentless, but our spirit is even stronger. I have some unfortunate news to share. In the latest high-resolution models have trended stronger for the nor'easter across the Northeast today. Additionally, the deep south snowstorm has become even more serious, especially for New Orleans, Louisiana, Houston, Texas, and Corpus Christi, as the latest models predict even higher snowfall totals. Lastly, the Arctic outbreak across the northern tier of the United States has taken a turn for the worse, with wind chill values of minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit or lower expected. As for the snowfall totals for the Northeast winter storm, they are looking significant depending on your location. Currently, I'm forecasting between 5 to 8 inches of snow across much of Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey, most of New York down to the south, including Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, which will see quite a bit of snowfall. Downtown New York is now forecasted to receive 4 to 7 inches of snow, according to the National Weather Service forecast model. This is shaping up to be a historic snowstorm. Now that we've talked about the significant nor'easter for today into early tomorrow morning, this winter storm developing across the deep south is looking extreme and potentially historic for this time of year, especially for Louisiana and portions of Houston, Texas. Taking a look at the very latest Canadian model for midnight on Tuesday, January 21st, 2025, the blue area on your screen shows where some snowfall will occur over central, eastern, and southern Texas. This will only grow stronger and bigger as we go into the morning hours of Tuesday, especially for your morning commute. By 6 a.m. Tuesday, Houston, Texas will experience heavy snow, freezing rain, and sleet mixed in. Corpus Christi, Texas will also see some freezing rain and icy conditions. Dallas, Texas, and Eastern Texas will experience light to moderate to heavy snowfall. The storm will continue to march eastward on Tuesday. By noon, we are looking at moderate to heavy snowfall across central and northern Louisiana, southeastern Texas, Mississippi, and Alabama, with a lot of ice in these areas. Southern Louisiana and Houston are particularly at risk of significant ice accumulation. This is just one model. We'll take a look at the European model shortly. However, you can see what the Canadian model has been predicting. Sleet, snow, and a mix of freezing rain. By the evening commute around 3 p.m., Louisiana and Mississippi will experience moderate to heavy snowfall. This will be a major concern, especially for drivers, as heavy snow accumulation could reach a foot in isolated areas, including the southern parts of Alabama and Georgia. An extreme ice storm is still possible in northern Florida, and while I hope this doesn't happen, the ice accumulation could lead to widespread power outages. Thankfully, areas to the north won't be as impacted, and the system should move out quickly. According to the Canadian model, it will be gone by Wednesday afternoon, January 22nd. Now let's take a look at the latest European model for early Tuesday morning. This model shows an intense snowstorm developing rapidly. Houston, Texas is expected to experience heavy snowfall, and blizzard conditions are possible due to strong northerly winds blowing the snow around. Corpus Christi, Texas may also see significant ice accumulation. If you have any outdoor plans or an early start to your day on Tuesday, please allow extra time for your commute, at least an hour or more, or consider staying home. The snowstorm will only worsen as we head into the afternoon commute, especially for Louisiana. If you're in Lake Charles, Gonzales, or New Orleans, Louisiana, as well as central and southern Mississippi and Alabama, prepare for very dangerous conditions. This is considered a historic snowstorm. And guys, this snowstorm is especially significant in the area I've circled. That's where we could see the most snowfall from this winter storm, with up to 10 inches or more a very real possibility. If this happens, it would definitely be considered historic. The situation isn't improving. In the western half of the Florida Panhandle, southern Georgia, and southern Alabama, these areas will be hit hard by heavy snowfall and significant ice, particularly in the narrow corridor across southeastern Georgia and northern Florida. This will be enough to knock out power, bring down trees, and make road travel extremely dangerous, if not impossible. Flight cancellations and delays are also very likely, especially in northern Florida and southeastern Georgia, where conditions will be at their worst. After the storm moves through, snow will move offshore by Wednesday morning, but the big ice storm will persist until early afternoon on Wednesday. Unbelievable snow totals. Now, let's take a look at the snow totals on the European model. They are extremely concerning, particularly across southeastern Texas into Louisiana, including Houston, Lake Charles, Gonzales, Baton Rouge, and parts of central Louisiana. In some areas, especially near Houston, we're potentially looking at up to 10 inches of snow, and isolated areas could see up to a foot. That would be a historic snowfall event this far south, extending into central and southern Louisiana. The storm will continue across the southeastern U.S., including the mid-Atlantic. Along the southeast coast, such as in the Carolinas, you could see 3 to 6 inches of snow. Northern Florida, southern Georgia, and southern Alabama are expected to receive 2 to 4 inches of snow. While not as much as Louisiana, this will still be a highly impactful winter storm. Dangerous ice totals. The ice totals are also alarming, and especially on the European model, we're looking at anywhere from the third of an inch to possibly half an inch of ice accumulation for northern Florida and southeastern Georgia. Some localized areas could exceed half an inch or more, including Houston and Corpus Christi, Texas, where you're also looking at around a tenth of an inch or more of ice. The Canadian model is also predicting ice totals between a third of an inch to 7/10 of an inch, with significant ice accumulation over the Big Bend of Florida, including Tallahassee and Jacksonville. This will likely lead to widespread power outages that could last a long time. Record-breaking Arctic outbreak. As for the Arctic air, it has become so extreme that it's now a major part of this Sunday morning's update. The National Weather Service is forecasting wind chill values as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit below zero, which is deadly and unsurvivable cold. The latest European model shows this colder air surging southward, especially on Monday morning. In the far northern part of North Dakota, wind chill values will drop to negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not only dangerous, but also historic. This Arctic air will remain a major problem through Wednesday, with wind chill values between negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit and negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit across the Great Lakes and Northeast. Temperatures will moderate slightly, but it will still be dangerously cold through at least the rest of this work week. If you found this video helpful, detailed, and informative, please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the bell notification icon to get all my updates. I upload 1 to 2 videos a day. Also, hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video and share it with your family and friends to spread the word. This will help the YouTube algorithm recommend this to a larger audience. I'll be live streaming this evening to cover the winter storm in the Deep South, the Arctic outbreak, and the ongoing snowstorm in the Northeast. Great to see you on this Sunday evening update. We have a historic winter storm headed for areas of the Deep South, stretching from the Gulf Coast to the Florida Panhandle. This storm has the potential to break snow and ice records, with similar impacts expected along the Carolina coastline as we progress into the week. Before we dive into that, though, there's already ongoing winter weather with a nor'easter working its way up the East Coast. It's bringing heavy wet snow to areas like Philadelphia and New York City, and it will eventually spread into New England later this evening. Let's dive into the data. You can see the latest European model showing the ongoing nor'easter and the next winter storm forming back in Texas and Louisiana. This storm is set to move through the Gulf Coast with a historic setup. Eventually, it will impact the Carolina coastline by Tuesday and into Wednesday. We've got brand new watches, warnings, and advisories from the National Weather Service. Winter storm warnings are in effect for the Northeast due to the current nor'easter, but down in the deep South, we now have winter storm watches in place. The Big Bend of Florida, areas near Perry, which was hit by a major hurricane this past summer, and other parts of the Gulf Coast are under winter storm watches for the first time in over a decade. New Orleans is poised to break snowfall records not seen in nearly 20 years. It's a strange forecast, but it's shaping up to be an extremely interesting event. Ongoing winter storm in the Northeast. Now let's talk about the ongoing winter storm in the Northeast. This is what the radar will look like around 6 p.m. tonight. We're already seeing snow in Philadelphia during the Eagles game, and snow is spreading out to the west toward Millersville, Harrisburg, and State College. As we move into the evening, things will pick up for New York City, Long Island, Connecticut, Northern Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. Heavy snow will begin in these areas after the sun goes down. And by late overnight, down East Maine, southern New Hampshire, and portions of Vermont will start seeing snow as well. The snow should mostly be over, though lake effect snow will begin in upstate New York, continuing into the afternoon and evening. Snow will spread into parts of Michigan, Ontario, and Buffalo, with the lake effect snow continuing into Tuesday afternoon. Snow totals. Now, let's talk totals. The heaviest snow is still to come in Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. Snow has already fallen in Philadelphia and northern New Jersey by the time you're watching this, but expect 3 to 5 plus inches in Massachusetts and possibly even 10 inches in interior New England. In Philadelphia and northern New Jersey, there will likely be a couple more inches of snow. If you're watching this later tonight, you'll be wrapping up your snow by then, but if you're watching now, there's more to come. Southern winter storm. Now, shifting focus to the southern winter storm is just getting started, and it will begin tomorrow afternoon. We're looking at very cold temperatures pushing well southward. Highs will only reach the upper 20s near Little Rock, Arkansas. This is where we start seeing winter weather potential. And as the storm moves in, it's going to intensify quickly. Subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to stay informed. Stay safe, stay warm, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I'll